All right, so I've got something for you here today, my friend. If you're looking to basically target more effectively, right? This is going to really help with this because the biggest part of cold outreach is in your targeting in terms of how effective your outreach campaign is going to be. A lot of times it's not the message per se. It's not that your copy is wildly off or anything like that. It's really that the targeting was off. You're just in the end result speaking to the wrong people, and that's why they're not interested. And you might think, well, targeting is an easy thing, just go into Apollo, just go to any enrichment software and plug in, what companies you're looking for, type in the niche and or the industry, and then look for specific job titles in that niche and industry. But it doesn't really work like that. And this is going to show you that very clearly, and it's going to show you the way out of the problem where you miss the targeting. So this is a very detailed step-by-step process. And what I've done is I've created a GPT for you that walks you through every single step in this process that I'm going to share with you as well in the description. So let's say, well, I had a client and they were targeting Swedish manufacturing companies. So you might think, okay, great, let's go just type that into Apollo and pull a bunch of Swedish manufacturing companies and find the head of operations there, or whatever, right? That would be the wrong way to go about it. So first things first, in this GPT, you're going to put in your niche that you're targeting, your industry that you're targeting, sort of broad category, and then it's going to start identifying sub niches within that niche. And so it's identified a whole bunch of sub niches as you can see. From there, it's going to ask, shall I turn this list into a table with a column that provides short descriptions for each sub niche? So now we're priming the rest of the chat here. So here's some description of audio manufacturing, and it's just a description of what it is for clarity's sake. And as you can see, now we have a much more detailed sub niche situation going on. For example, if we were to pitch energy as a service, which is what we're pitching here, to these different sub niches, the way we're going to do that is going to be very different. And that's why cold outreach, quote unquote, doesn't work. I'll say that again. Each sub niche here has different pain points. And if we're reaching out to, let's say, head of operations of each of these sub niches, sort of blanket, generic with a solution, it's not going to resonate because each of these uh, sub niches have different pain points, and each of these heads of operations are going to have different pain points, as you can see here very clearly. These are all quite different in their focus, in their foci. So let's move on. So it says, shall I now add a third column that includes 15 niche-specific keywords for each sub-niche? Yes. And these specific niche-specific keywords can be helpful for our targeting later, right? When we say, okay, we want to focus on specifically one niche at a time, which is the smart way to go about it, hyper-targeted. These will be useful in that case. So here we get the various keywords that are very specific to each of these niches, by the way. The way that I wrote the prompt for this particular section was that each keyword is exclusive, near relatively exclusive to that sub niche. Okay. So these are very specific. And then it's going to say, shall I now add a fourth column listing the most pain points in each of these sub niches, ranked by the severity of the impact on the business operations, right? And now we're, notice we haven't mentioned what we're selling yet at all. So I've told it, yeah, list the top 20 pain points for each. Make sure the pain points are somewhat exclusive to the industry sub niche for a highly targeted listing of pain points. So it does that. And so now we have the sub niche auto, what they do, specific keywords, and 20 pain points. And we have that for all of the sub niches. Why are we doing that? Well, we haven't, like as I said, we haven't even mentioned what we're selling yet. We haven't told ChatGPT, hey, customize it, the pain points to based upon being related to what we're selling. No, we're not even doing that. We're just getting the broad strokes. Well, it's technically very hyper targeted, but within the pain points that these companies face, we want all of them included, is basically what I'm getting at. So, okay, so let's go down further. And we've gotten all the pain points for all the sub niches. And the next step is basically going to be identifying the pain points that our solution could actually solve, right? And then I gave it the website of my solution essentially, and then I told it first I want you to summarize it, and then only ask me if I'm ready to proceed. So I wanted to first have a clear understanding of what the offer is, of what the solution is. Okay, so now it says, would you like me to proceed with identifying which pain points in the manufacturing sub niches could actually be solved by the offer, by the product, solution, service, whatever. Now we're starting to focus in, okay, of all the pain points that they typically suffer and the most painful ones, which can we actually solve? And then it nicely ranks them too. That's great. So the number one pain point we can actually solve is the supply chain disruption. If we look back up here, I think it was the number one pain point. Yeah, supply chain disruption. So great. Our solution, we know, can address this. Volatile material costs, fourth point, demand for vehicle electrification, etc. And then how does our solution solve that point specifically? Now it explains how it relates, right? Okay, great. So it does that for every niche. Now we're starting to build a thesis for outreach, a relevant outreach and hyper target outreach. So here's five whys analysis. I've said it's going to ask me, shall I do a five whys analysis? That's what it will do because I fixed it now. It will actually ask you this now, but I told it to do it in this particular instance as I was creating it. So it's going to do a five whys analysis on the pain points the solution can help with, ignoring the other pain points that we can't help with because it's obviously not relevant. So on the relevant pain points, our solution can help address uh, these in this way. So first we have the pain point, and then the five whys analysis. Why is the supply chain disrupted? Well, because of reliance on this. Why is there reliance on external providers? Because auto manufacturing requires consistent energy. Why is grid energy inconsistent or unreliable? The grid can experience outages, spikes, supply issues, blah, blah, blah. Why does this lead to disruptions? Well, when energy supply is unstable, manufacturing processes can be halted, leading to delays and increased costs. Why can our solution help this? Well, because we offer blah, blah, blah. So now we have a very logical and hyper targeted messaging you can start to see coming together. And so we'll get into the messaging now too. So we'll fast forward down. We've done this for all the niches. And now it's going to say, how would you like to proceed with creating cold outreach angles based upon this analysis? I said yes. And then I give it these specific points that I want. And this is already built into the GPT now, so you don't have to worry about doing this as well. You just say yes. Here's some cold outreach angles based on the five whys analysis. Automotive manufacturing supply chain disruptions. Self-reflective question. Ever felt the sting of production delays because energy prices spiked or the grid failed you? Painful symptoms. Each minute your assembly line stops costs you money. Suppliers get nervous. Customers lose patience. All because the energy you need isn't there when you need it most. Solution. What if your plant could run on stable green energy that you control? No more price spikes, no more outages, or tailored solar and biogas. Our tailored and solar and biogas solutions can keep your operations running smoothly no matter what's happening in the world. Would you like to see a quick breakdown of how we can stabilize your energy costs and boost your supply chain? I can send it over, discuss it on a call, whichever works. So I sort of, as you can see, I sort of organized this almost like a cold email. Obviously, this is not a cold email, but I told it to speak in the kind of language that you would speak in a cold email. And the reason is to just shortcut the process of getting towards the final finished product as quickly as possible. So this can really, you can see, right, this can really help you write that email or that template if you're doing it at scale, which is what I do. Okay. So now we have really hyper targeted messaging, valid reasons, a real understanding of the symptoms and the real day to day visceral pain points, how our solution is relevant to those pain points and can solve them, and then offering value in the call to action. So, basically, so that the call to action isn't just, hey, can we talk for 15 minutes, but rather, Can I show you our roadmap to stabilizing supply chains with custom energy solutions? Can I show you a detailed compliance energy audit? Something that you might have to otherwise pay for. Can I show you how you can boost sustainability and cut costs? I have insights, right? Can I let me share a tailored cost analysis with you, right? So now you're seeing like, okay, this is relevant, hyper targeted, and leading more with value, at least perceptually speaking. In the end, of course, we're just jumping on a call and probably sharing some value as well, of course. But hopefully, this was helpful for you. And you can go ahead and use this GPT right now and go through all these steps. And the nice thing about it is I've made it so user friendly. It's just you say yes every single step, and it just guides you through this really nice, detailed, thorough breakdown analysis. So it's been Travis. Hopefully that's helpful. Thanks so much. Until next time. Bye bye.